Hey guys, today's video I'm working on my 2006 un-LS swapped small block Chevy GMC Envoy. Today's video I had to drop the tank, I had to replace the fuel pump, and I had to do a little bit of finagling with the engine to get it run right. And we are one step closer, two steps closer actually, to getting this thing on the road and driving. And the next video there's going to be a little bit of a surprise. So almost done with this video, you know, this series, and then I'll get right back on my 57 Chevy project. So guys, let's get to the video. Alright, so the exhaust is a definite issue. So I went out and I bought a S10 starter. This is for the 4.3, so it's a bit smaller. In fact, I'll go ahead and show you the size difference. And I'm hoping with the size of it, it's going to make running the exhaust a little bit easier. So let me show you what we've got. So here's the type of starter that is in the Envoy right now. And this is the S10 starter. Notice the gigantic difference in size. So this is what I'm going to be running in this car. I do have the larger flywheel. What is it, 160 something tooth rather than 150 something. I guess I'm going to have to look, and these are two sizes. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the starter and install the new S10 starter. Now the starters have gone up. This one was like 200 bucks. It kind of hurt my feelings. I think it was 200 bucks. It was 100 bucks. I don't know. Anyhow, they went up from the last time. I don't even keep track anymore. I needed the starter, I got it. So let me crawl up underneath and get swapping. Woo, bright light. Need to get a ratchet. So I went ahead and I removed the electrical. Now this is a big starter, heavy starter too. You can see I can pick up this starter one-handed. The other one you can't. The other one's so heavy. Taking the nuts off the connectors. And then putting it up here. Now, I'm going to put one bolt in. Oops, wrong way. I think I might have to add some extensions on the bolts, not on the bolts themselves, but like some spacers, because I think the bolts are a little bit long now. We're fixing to find out. Because usually there's a shim that comes with the starters. And for For some reason, this starter did not come with a shim, and I'm a little worried. But hey, what you gonna do? If there's an issue, I'll find out and fuss about it later. Right? Right. Alright, that starter's up there. All I gotta do is hook up the electrical, which I can get through to the wheel well, which is pretty awesome. And then I gotta see about running this exhaust pipe, which still looks like a pain in the butt. So this is what I got for the passenger side. I have this. It's a interesting way of running the exhaust, but I had to do this to get around the starter. It shouldn't have a problem with the exhaust exiting there. We're going to get that bolted up in there, and then we're going to start on the driver's side. So let me get that thing bolted up, and we're going to start on the driver's side. Okay, so this is what we've got for the exhaust. I've got this down piece, and then I have a curved piece on the inside, which I will show y'all as soon as I get it tacked into place and pull it out where I can weld it. It's going to run out next to the oil filter, and then it's going to swoop down and head over to this other side where I've got a Y, and then it's going to go straight back to the factory exhaust. So this is a pretty janky exhaust system, but it's not for performance, it's just to drive. If I wanted performance, I would have kept the LS in it. All right, let's get this exhaust cut, or welded, excuse me. Cover. Yeah, nice. All right, so I'm gonna pull it out and get it on the ground where I can do the final weld. And then I'm gonna trim it. We're gonna add a 90-degree elbow, which I got here somewhere. It's somewhere. Going across here, and then it's gonna go to that, and then straight shot. Sweet. So the smoke traveled up through the engine and to the other side. All right, let's get this thing down there. See? Gonna go whoosh, nice swoop. Okay, so now that the exhaust is mostly welded up, I didn't get it on the top of them. I just put the battery in the car. I'm gonna crank it up, and I'm gonna see how it sounds. Then I'm gonna lower it down, and I'm gonna back it out, and I'm gonna take it to my old shop, get it up on the lift, and we're gonna drop the tank and get the fuel system right on this thing. So what happened was this car was flooded. Water got into the tank, got into the fuel pump, and I'm pretty sure it corroded up the fuel pump from the salt water. So we're going to be taking out the fuel pump and just putting in a regular a hose down to the bottom of the tank so I can have a pickup. So let's try to crank this thing up. I bet you it's going to sound like crap. Alright, so we have fuel. Let's hook up the fuel pump. Yep, I hear it picking it up. Now this is a new starter too, so I don't know if the starter is going to sound right or not. It might be metal on. It might be bad. It's pretty bad. It's quiet. Keep running. Keep running. Ah. It sounds pretty good. Oh wow. It even has some tone to it. Not a big exhaust leak. Surprising. It's nice and quiet. It sounds normal. Wow. Alright, so we're going to get this thing put down on the ground and put it on the trailer. Alright, so I got the car loaded, heading to the shop. See y'all there. So we made it back to the shop. There's the bay I'm using today. So thankful I still have the keys to the shop. I don't know why he hadn't taken them from me.
What? Oh.
Hey man, what you working on?
A Coca-Cola clock.
How's that going?
Good.
So it was screaming, huh?
That's what my son said.
Yeah. So what'd you do? Just lubricate things up?
Yep. Took the whole thing apart. It's a 4 foot by 4 foot clock.
Do you know what year it is?
No, but it probably says so on the back.
Yeah. What do you think, like 70s or something?
Maybe even earlier.
So here's the Coca-Cola clock. Guys, let me know what year you think this clock is. Here's the cage that it goes in. Pretty sweet.
That's pretty fun.
I'll give you $57 for it.
Okay.
Tell me if I'm clear back there, please.
You're good. You're good.
This thing's heavy.
I see that.
Oh, she stalled on me again. Will not power brake.
Car's going up. Got to make sure it doesn't fall. Seems pretty stable. Right. Okay. So let's get a good look at the underneath since I've got it up in the air like this. My ghetto exhaust job. This was like the worst one right here. I had to piece a larger one together to get it going, but you know, it is what it is. My catalytic converter. Then the original pipe, the flex pipe, to the original exhaust, and it's got a sweet tone to it. So this is what I'm working on today. I've got to drop this fuel tank because I'm hoping it doesn't have a lot of anything in it. But this car was flooded, it got in salt water, and you can see the pieces of debris that was underneath this thing. The whole tank went underwater, and I'm pretty sure that water got into the tank because I can't pull any fuel from this tank. I think that the salt water got into the fuel pump and corroded it up. And yeah, so I can't pull any fuel out of it. I'm hoping that it didn't completely fill up with water too. I don't know. So we're going to drop this tank, and hopefully we're not going to have any issues with it. So we set up this camera and drop the tank. All right, finally. Okay, great news on it not being so full that it's overflowing. So there might be some water in it, but it's not slammed full of water. Good thing. I'm going to say this tank is not full, which is great. Right here. Look at that. And that's going to be nice and up there. I'll be able to drop the transmission, drop the fuel tank
Okay, I finally got the pump assembly out, and there is water in the tank. Not a lot. But the yellow is gas, the orange is river water, storm water. So I got to get this river water out, and I've got to take this assembly, the pump assembly, and eliminate the pump and just run a hose down for pickup. So once I can do that, then I'm going to reinstall the assembly. I'm going to try to leave the fuel level sending unit in there. It probably won't work, but I'm going to leave it in there, and hopefully something will happen. And yeah, put some fresh fuel in it, and then I got to install a mechanical fuel pump. So let's go ahead and get this taken care of, and I'll get to installing the fuel pump. Alright, so I have the fuel tank cleaned out, nice and clean on the inside. I have the sending unit put back together, looking kind of nasty, but I'll blow it off of air one last time before installing it. And yeah, this tank's going to be going in a few minutes. I had about 6 or 7 gallons of nasty fuel in it. I guess I'm gonna have a bonfire tonight. So let's go ahead and install this sending unit. So I went to my warehouse and I got some parts that I needed to install a mechanical fuel pump on this car. So when I got the engine, the little plate that bolts to the side of the engine that the fuel pump goes to, that holds the rod in place, it was missing. So I had to go steal one off of another engine. So we're going to be cleaning this up and installing it on this vehicle. And then there's the fuel pump, and hopefully it'll bolt up, because the motor mount is a little close. Okay, so we are going to try to install the fuel pump. Where did I put it in? Gotta go up here. into here. And get her started. So there's the fuel pump installed, really close to the motor mounts. Yeah. So we'll get the rubber line hooked up and then the steel. So I hooked up the metal fuel line and a fuel filter to the carburetor. Now, I need to add fuel to the fuel tank. So I got 5 gallons, and I'm hoping the 5 gallons is going to be good enough. I'm hoping. Alright, hopefully 5 gallons is enough. Let's find out. Okay, I am ready to fire up. What?
I said, I'm out.
Okay. I appreciate it. Alright, here we go. Firing it up. Got to try to keep it running because the fuel needs to make it to the front. I'm going to say it probably picked up the fuel, wouldn't you say?
I would think so.
Nice.
Needs tune-up.
It definitely needs a tune-up. Although I'll just tell people that's the cam in it. Very nice. All right, this is awesome. So I reckon that's it for this video, guys. The small block un-LS swapped GMC Envoy is doing fantastic. Next video should be the first real drive. I've got to buy some new tires for this thing. The tires are starting to look a little bad, so to drive it around I want some new tires for it, and I do need to install an electric fan. So that's like 2 things I'd like to do to it. And then I have got a little surprise. So guys, stay tuned for the next video because it's going to be awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch y'all later. Happy Father's Day, Dad.